Hey designer, Alex here and welcome to this tutorial, which is the insert from my course UI UX design from zero to hero using Adobe XD and Webflow. In this video I'm going to show you how to design the homepage, and inside of the course we are going to create additional pages for this website, and from that we are going to turn it into a live Webflow website. All of that is going to be covered in the course, which is over 24 hours long. And if you want to enroll in the course, make sure to look out for the discount in the description below of this video. Make sure to enter the coupon code to get that huge discount if you want to follow along. Also, as I mentioned, course is over 24 hours long, but it doesn't cover just design in XD and develop in Webflow. It covers basically everything that you need to know to become a successful and productive UI UX designer, from how to choose your color, how to work with typography, how to work with images, fonts, and all sorts of different good stuff that UI UX designers use on a daily basis. So if you're struggling, make sure to check out the course. Once again, a link is down in the description below with a huge discount. Make sure to use it because it's going to expire really soon. And without any further ado, let's get started with today's video and enjoy. Alright, so here is the practice file for today's video, and if you want to get this practice file, make sure to enroll in a course. As I mentioned, you are going to get the huge discount. A link is going to be down in the description below. Make sure to check it out and to enter the coupon code which is displayed there to get the huge discount. And in today's video we are just going to tackle the homepage, but as you already saw, there are 5 pages in total, and the lightbox which we are going to design inside of the course, which we then going to turn into a Webflow website, which is going to be completely live and accessible to everybody online. So to get started, what we have right here, as you can see, is the name of the artboard is Espada Exclusive Cars homepage, and the size is 1440 by 1068, and you can see I have 12 columns with a gutter width of 39, column width of 64, and the margins left and right are linked to 121. So first things first, what I'm going to do actually is to apply the fill color, which is going to be this body color, because I want to make my elements stand out just a little bit more from the background. And then what I'm going to do is simply click, drag and drop this logo inside, which is the logo of this imaginary company, and I'm going to place it 20 from the top, and then I'm going to create sort of a small navigation right here. So I'm going to hit T and type in cars, and those are going to be the cars which are going to be listed by this company. And we will have this text block size, which is 20 Poppins regular, and I'm going to place it somewhere around here. Make sure it's, let's say, in the center with this logo, something like that, and we're going to have 24 from the top. Then I'm going to hit Ctrl G to put it in a group, and first thing I'm going to do with this group is call it nav items, like so. Position it below my logo and turn on the stack in this direction. Then hit Ctrl D to duplicate it, Ctrl D one more time. On the second one I'm going to write loans, because you can click on the loans page to explore loan options that this company is offering for buying these used cars. And then we're going to have contact us. All of this, by the way, is explained in the course about how to get to this information, why we're using these pages and not some other pages, as well as with the content inside of this homepage and why is it used like that. So let's go back to our stack and turn on 24 and position it roughly around here so it aligns with the edge. Let's Ctrl G on that one, use nav for our navigation, and then what I'm going to do is start with my hero section, type in T and paste in some text. So your partner for exclusive cars, I'm going to use H1 right here, and make sure to align it roughly around here. Then what I'm going to do is maybe use that text block once again and paste in a new text, and I'm going to use text block and position it aligned here so I can align the two. And I'm going to use 32 for my distances, and I used 8 pixel grid sizes in this course and in this design, as well as in the Webflow build itself. So let's go once again and type in something like explore our cars, like that. And let's go ahead and create a rectangle which is going to be 3 columns wide, like that. And let's round out the corners of it to around 8. Maybe we can use this main blue color, get rid of this border, and I'm going to right click, send to back, so I can position it just behind my text. And for the height, let's go with around a number of 65 maybe. Now for the text, I can use pure white or light gray or whatever, and I'm going to position it in the center like this, and make sure that this time text is centered. Then group these two, Control G, and I'm going to call it something like main BTN, or I can call it BTN or whatever, because we are going to have just one button size, which is going to expand over time inside of our main design. So here let's use 32, because we use 32 right here. And what I can do is group this, Control G, and maybe call it hero content or hero text, something like that. And then on this side we are going to actually use an image. So to use that image, what I'm going to do is maybe I can create a circle. So let's use our circle, position it like this, and let's use light gray color. And for the size, let's go with 388 by 388, like that. Get rid of this border and position it to be in the center of our text, like that. There we go. And now what I'm going to do is perhaps I can see where I am with my hero. So maybe I can go like 100 from my navigation with these two, because we are 94. I can go 10 down, let's see, something like that, and then go back and round it up to 100, because it's going to be much easier for us later to turn these into sections when we get to Webflow. So I'm going to give it a name of hero image circle, position it right around here, and then I'm going to hit Control D one more time and simply call this one mask, like so, and hide it. And now I'm going to bring in my image. So I have a hero image prepared, something like this, and I'm going to position it roughly in the center, but somewhere around here. Now you can see that these edges go outside. This is why we used a mask, and we're just going to select these two, hit Shift Control M to mask it, and we can call it, for example, hero image IMG, like that. And then what we have to do is simply extend our mask a little bit, just so that we can see our image a little bit better, and just pay attention to this shadow that we have of this car at the bottom. That's what we want to see. And maybe we could have unmasked all of them. So let's go back to here and then select all of them, mask them like this. Let's see, hero IMG, and then simply extend the mask once again, because I want them to be in the same position. And perhaps I can extend this up, this right here. There we go. But I just want to make sure that I'm aligned on this side, maybe to roughly around here. There we go. And there we go, just so that I can see my circle. Now this way, what I did is I actually extended it. You can also do this with a rectangle. It's actually much simpler to do, and let me actually show you that approach as well. So instead of circle for a mask, you can hit delete, and then you can create a rectangle like so. Just make sure to catch in on your circle right around here. There we go. And now position your elements inside, just so that they are aligned with the edge of our grid, like so. And then just make sure to extend your rectangle just a touch, so maybe a pixel or two up or down, so you can zoom in to be a little bit more precise. And of course it's much simpler with a rectangle. You can just position it however you want. Get rid of this border on your rectangle. And now what we can do is, instead of hero image circle, what we can do is call it hero image, maybe BG for the background. And then do the same thing, Shift Control M, but put this up like so, Shift Control M so it can mask with that rectangle, and call it hero img. What you can also do is get rid of the color inside, just so it doesn't confuse you, and there you go, you have your clean mask inside. What we're going to do next is go with some circles to dress up our design a little bit. So let me create a nice big circle like this. I'm going to call it top circle, like this. And for this one, I'm going to give it this main blue color. And for the dimensions, let's go with 110 by 110, something like that. Get rid of this border, like so. And I'm going to position it roughly around here, maybe. Somewhere around there. Or maybe I can go with 100 by 100, just so I can round out my numbers a little bit more cleanly. To roughly around there. There we go. Hit Control D and then position this second one roughly around here. You can line it up with your grid if you want to, something like that, and just not line it up with the circle at the bottom. And here for this one, let's use, for example, this, or maybe even this. And here we have these two icons, so I'm going to place this first icon right here, select it and the circle. There we go. And then warranty badge, drag it and drop it right here. Make sure these two are in the center. Control G on this one, and I'm going to call it, first of all, this is our bottom circle. There we go. And I'm going to call it bottom circle as well. And this is going to be our top circle, like so. And then simply position these two just above our image. Oops, not there, but here. There we go. Then select all of your content, hit Control or Command G to group it and call it hero. And now we can move on to the next section, which is going to be about section about this page. And once again, I explain it in the course. Make sure to check out the full course about how to get the structure of your page. But in this case, we want to explain who these people are. But before we do, actually, what I want to do with this is to turn it into a component, Control K, and then simply hit hover state right here, call it hover. And inside of the hover state, select the background, which is going to be BT. But instead of in the hover state, sorry, let's go to the default state, because when I change the name here, it's going to translate over to the hover state as well. So BTN, BG. Really important to name your layers. So now when you go to hover, you can see it didn't translate because I first changed it here. So BTN, BG, there we go. And now here just change the color to this hover color. That's all for this button. And when you hit preview really quickly and hover, you can see how it looks like. And by the way, why I used this size instead of 1920 by 1080 is because majority of people are using laptops instead of huge devices, like maybe some screens which are, let's say, 32 inches wide or something like that. So in this case, what I'm going to do for this about us section, or who we are section, is drag in a nice image, and this image can be something like 200 from here, something like that, because it's going to be much simpler for us to transition later. And just group these and select these two and make sure you are in the center. In this case we are, which is great. There we go. And who we are is going to go right here at the bottom. There we go. So we are 200, and now we can go ahead and add a text which we need to describe who these people are. So first things first, type in T, paste in your text, and in this case I'm going to use H2. There we go. Make sure it's from the left hand side. And I'm going to leave a column of space right here, then Control D to duplicate this. And for the next one, I'm going to use the text block maybe. And I want to include their tagline, for example, something like that. Hit Control D one more time. And this time I'm going to use a paragraph. And this paragraph, I can paste it in right here. Now the distances between all of these can be, let's say, 24. So what I can do is group them. Use the stack and simply type in 24, which is going to organize those distances for me. Just make sure to position it in the center, and there we go. Our section has been completed. Now all I need to do is simply call this text and group these two and type in who we are. There we go. Now we can move on to the next section, which is going to be the offer of this company. So what I can do for the offer is perhaps use this text, Control C, Control V, and make sure to position it here, make sure to put it in the center. And now what I'm going to do is simply type in our exclusive selection, make sure it's in the center, and let's nudge it to 200, to like this, because I want to keep that distance looking the same throughout my website. Now what I'm going to do right here is simply create a rectangle like this, which is going to be 4 columns wide in this case. And let's see what we can do. Maybe we can round up the corners. Let's go with this one, and let's go with this one, like so. And if you hover, you can see these are top left and top right corner radiuses, and this is going to be, let's see how we can call it. Maybe we can call it for now, actually no, let's call it Huracan, because that's going to be the car in question, Lamborghini Huracan. And let's go with 250 for the size. There we go. Get rid of the border for now, like so. Let me actually drag and drop in my image inside. There we go, which is going to populate nicely. And the distances between these two can be 64. Let's see, like that. And now clearly you can see right here that we have this corner rounded and this corner rounded, which is sort of the effect which I want to achieve anyways. So what I'm going to do is duplicate this one and change it here to H3, which is going to be 24. Huracan, and I'm going to left align it right here. And let's see what I can do is perhaps maybe I can place it in some sort of a background, but first let's actually position it from here. So 1 2 3 4, so 24, and 1 2 1 2 3 4, so we are 24 from each side, so here and here from this edge. Now I can go do Control D to duplicate it, use the main blue. And let's see what I can do here for the distancing. Maybe I can go with 16, like that, and I'm going to paste in some random price. And then what I'm going to do is duplicate that once again, maybe keep it at 16 once again, use the text block. There we go. I'm going to type in 2021 because let's say that's the year when this car was made. Hit Control G and call it something like car details, or years kilometers maybe, because that's what's going to be represented here. And I'm going to turn in the stack, Control D, and for the stack I want to use 24. You can see this 8 pixel pattern repeating all over again. And let's go with something like 6,324 kilometers, because that's how many kilometers this car actually has. And what I'm going to do is push all of this text, except for this one, below my image, like this. So Huracan comes first, then comes this. So what I'm going to do is actually use some sort of a background in this case. So what I can do is wrap in my background like that, and right click, send to back, use 8 pixels all around. And what I can do right here is make sure to go to 24, something like that. So you can see that we are 24 on each side and we are 21 here. So maybe we can nudge that down, 1 2 3, there we go, and then increase this by 3. So I can go with 451, and there we go. Now we are 24 on each side, 16 right here, 24, there we go. And now I'm going to call this stock item BG. Stock because our exclusive selection is their stock. And now we have this card. So if I double click right here to get rid of my layout, you can see how this card looks like. If I bring my layout back, select this, what I can do is group it. and let's see, call it Huracan for example. There we go, Control G on this one, or maybe even we can just use Control D to push it in the center, Control D to push it right here to this side. And now let's see, push this right here. This is going to be Escalade, like that, and select the image which is going to be Escalade for Cadillac Escalade. And let's go and change that right away. There we go. Let me actually select the information from here, Cadillac Escalade. There we go. Price is obviously going to be a little bit cheaper. This is going to be 2020, and for the kilometers, because it's a family car, it's going to be a bit more used, let's say, than Lamborghini Huracan. And then this is going to be called Lucid, which is electric car, Lucid Air. Let's drop in the image inside, and let me go ahead and copy the text which I originally used, Lucid Air. There we go. Price of this car is going to be dramatic because it's quite new. And let's see here, what we can do is just change this a touch, so 6 to 40 kilometers. And there we go. Now we have these sections inside of here, and what I can do actually is group this section. So use my title, use all of these. Let's just check if they are at 64 all around. They are, lovely. So as I said, group them, Control G, and call them exclusive selection. We are 200 from here, and there we go. We are moving along quite nicely through this design. So let me extend this down a little bit more. And before I move on any further, what I actually forgot is the button right here, which is going to be our call to action button, or our main button. Snap it in the center like this. And what I can do in this case is go 64, for example, from this section. Let's see, 64, there we go. And now I'm just going to nudge it inside of here. And let's actually change this to see all cars, like that. And I'm going to go to the hover state because it keeps the information from our main button, see all cars. And there we go, this section has been completed. Now the next section is going to be what they actually offer and what is their offer. So let's go with 200 again, call it what we offer. There we go. Push this down a little bit, and now we have another image, but now on this side, because we want to switch it around a little bit. And remember the distancing, we are going to go 64 here as well, like this. There we go. And now on this side we are just going to have some information which is going to go hand in hand with what we already created. So what I'm going to do actually here is type in extended warranty, like that. And I'm going to go and use H3, for example, in this case. Nudge it right here, and then I have this warranty icon. Then I'm going to make sure they are centered, they are grouped, and I'm going to give it the name of, let's say, title or something like that. Maybe offer info or something like that. Now let's go with warranty, because I'm going to give them separate names. And I can turn in the stack on this one, and let's give it a stack of 24 like we did in all our cases before, as I already showed you. And I'm going to hit Control C on this one, Control V to paste it outside, move it a little bit down. And then what I'm going to do for that is use that text block like so. Make sure it's left aligned. And let's see, make sure it's 24 down. So what I can do in this case is, let me first paste in the text like this, and instead of 34, let's go with 24, and I can group these two and put them in a stack. You can see how that looks like. And what I can do is call that warranty as well, like that. So what I can do now is nudge it up a little bit, Control G, to put it in the main group. And the main group I can call offer info, put in the stack down below. and then I can make 2 copies like that, and the distances can be, let's say, let's see what we can do right here, maybe 40 or something. Let's go with 40. And now in this case what I can do is simply push this in the center, and then this is going to be called maintenance, and don't forget to replace it here. And then this last one is going to be called loans, and put it right here as well. And now let me change this. I forgot to push it to the left so you can see what that does, like that, and make sure that this is left aligned, and I can call it maintenance, and you can see that it keeps the place. Now to replace these icons, simply select your icon, drag and drop the maintenance until it becomes blue, let go, and because it's in a stack it's going to keep the same place and the same space that you ordered it to. So now we have this car loan icon, which I'm going to drag and drop into place right here, and as I said, it's just going to keep the same place as before. And finally I need to paste in my copy inside like that. There we go. And because we used one layout for it, it's going to just keep it, and it's just going to position it in to place, and it's going to just be where we left it off. So now what we can do is group it and call it what we offer, like that, and move on to the next section, which in this case is going to be the benefits. And the section of benefits is going to be full width. So to do that, what I can do is simply select my rectangle, position it down, and let me actually see what I did originally for the size. So benefits can be the fill color of, let's see, let's go with H3 paragraph, and I'm going to get rid of the border because I'm going to put the image opacity above it, something like that, for 6:9. There we go. I think that looks good. And now I'm just going to drag in my image inside of it, and position my image over it like so, and then type in 1 on my keyboard for 10% opacity. And here what I'm going to do is use the same distance for all of my sections, so let's go with 200 here as well. So now that we have this benefits image, what I can do is call this background benefits section BG for the background, and here what I can do is use that H3 once again, our benefits, and make sure it's white, for example. Or because we used 32, maybe we can go with H2 and then make it white. Make sure we are in the center, make sure it's center aligned like that. There we go. And now for these ones I can use H3, which is 24, and I can go with, let's see, maybe not pure white this time, or yeah, let's go with pure white, and then for the text below it we can use some other color like this light gray or body color or something like that. So this first one is going to say free delivery. Control D, place it right here. This is going to be 3-stage polish. Make sure it's in the center. And then we're going to have another one. Oops, sorry. Control D. And then this one is going to say part exchange, because these are some benefits that we are going to offer them. So every business has its own benefits. So in this case, these are the benefits that this business provides. So you have a part exchange. You can change your existing car for the new car, or used car in this case. 3-stage polish, so they polish your car before they handed it over to you, and free delivery wherever you are in the country of origin of this business. They are going to deliver this car to your door basically for free, or included in the price. So here I'm going to use the paragraph size for this text, and I'm going to use body color in this case. There we go. Control D. So what I already said is what I'm going to paste in inside. And that's the point of great copywriting. Control V, there we go. And now for the distances we can go with 24. So let's first organize them a little bit. Where we are, 24, 24, 24, lovely. I'm going to line it up like this, line it up to the center, line it up to the center, there we go. And now all we need to do is actually drag and drop these images inside. So as you can see, we have free delivery. I'm going to line it up to here. And let's see, maybe I can go with 24 once again, because that's going to help me keep the same spacing for all my elements. So 24 like that. Then we have polish, make sure it's in the center and make sure we are 24, there we go. And then we have part exchange like so. Whoops, not the image but the icon like that, and then 24 like that. So I can group these three and these three and these three like that. So switch over to the layers section. This is going to be free delivery. This next one is going to be 3-stage polish. It's going to go right here. And then this last one is going to be called part exchange. Position it right here, and all of them below are benefits. And speaking about that, maybe we can go with 64 for the distance here. Something like that, there we go. And all I want to do right now is just align it to the center like so. Make sure to position it here, make sure to group all of them and call this section our benefits like that. And there we go, this section has been completed. And now let me move on to the contact form. Let's jump in a little bit down, and this contact form is also going to be 200 down. So let's select this title so we don't have to type it in all over again. So 200, and I'm going to call it contact us like that. Make sure we are 200, we are to the center, there we go. And it's going to be super simple contact form. It's just going to have the fields, and we are not going to do any icons, anything special. We're just going to basically organize these in such a way that it looks like a contact form, which was the main point of this site actually, because I wanted to achieve something super simple. So let's go with text block right here, make sure we are left aligned, and type in full name like that, snap it right here. And then let's actually use a rectangle, and for the rectangle here I want to go with full width, and for the size of this rectangle let's go with 60, and let's go with white. And let's see, for the border color what we can do is, I don't know, maybe we can keep this white and get rid of the border color. Then for the distances here, what we can do is maybe go with 16 like that. And full name, Control D, duplicate it, position it here, right click, send to back. And for this text what I want to do is just make it a paragraph, so it's 16. And for the distances I can go with 16 here. So when I hover, you can see we are 16 and 18. So let's try to align it a little bit. And now we are 17, 17 and 16 on this side, which is completely fine. So this is going to be our input. And in terms of the corner radius, I'm going to leave it like that. This is going to be input field like that. And let me actually grab in the copy like that, there we go. And this is going to be full name, so above that I'm going to group these two and call it input. And then I'm going to grab these two, put them in a group and call this name. There we go. Now you can use the stack, you can use whatever you want here, but I'm just going to leave it as it is, as a plain group, to save a bit of time. So we are at 64. What I'm going to do is hit Control D right here. And in terms of distances between these, instead of 64, let's go with 32 like that. And now in this case I'm going to make sure that this is 6 columns wide, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, because I'm going to have 2 of them in a second. Position it down here, and this next one is going to be email, like that. Control D, make sure I put this right here, position this right here. This is going to be phone, and let me actually grab the copy. So this is going to be enter your email. This is going to say enter your phone number. Here write in phone, here write in email. There we go. And now let me close these because I want to actually duplicate this one, position it down. This is going to be message, and nudge it all the way down to 32. There we go. And type in message like that. And here we are going to say something like write your message here, but obviously this box has to be a little bit bigger than these ones. So input field can stay, or you can call it message BG, for example, just so you know later down the line what it is, or if you send it to developers or whatever. 171 is what I want to do right here, and it's going to say write your message here. So you're giving clear indication to your users as to what they need to do to send this contact form. We are going to use the same button, align it 32 like we did previously, not 64 but 32, position it here. Instead of explore our cars, we are going to say something like send message. There we go. And I'm going to do the same for the hover state, like that. And I'm going to go back to my default state. There we go. And main button, I'm going to place it right here. This is going to be my contact form, or just a form, however you want, and simply give this contact us, because that's what it says right here. Now the last section which we need to build here is the where we are, or the map section. So let's go ahead and extend this a little bit down. There we go. So you can see how many sections we went ahead and created so far, and we are 36 minutes in, so already quite a long tutorial. That's why the course lasts over 24 hours. So make sure to check out the course. Once again, a link is going to be down in the description below. Make sure to enroll because it's super rich with content. You're going to get all of these templates so you can easily follow along, and at the end of the course we are going to develop it using Webflow so it looks like a live website, which actually is what it is. So let's go ahead and create that contact map, or sorry, the map for where we are. So here we are going to go with 200 once again, nudge this down. So use T like this. I'm going to type in where we are. And for this one, what I can do is use the H2 once again and snap it to the edge right here. Control D to duplicate that, and I'm going to use the text block, for example, paste in my text. And for the distances, what we can do is maybe 24 here, because we don't need that much space in this case. There we go. Control D to duplicate that, and I'm going to use the same layout which I did previously. So here I'm going to go with something smaller, like paragraph size. I'm going to type in address like that, Control D, and I'm going to actually type in my address right away, which is the address in my home country. And what we can do is move this around, and I can drag in this icon inside and make sure it's in the center. Control G to group it and call this address. Put it in a stack and just give it a smaller value of 16, for example, and then nudge this to be 16 as well. So group these two and call it address once again. There we go. And now what I can do is make sure to put this to be 32, like so. And now to save myself a bit of time, what I can do is push this down a little bit, Control D, and then go ahead and maybe I can even keep them in if I want to, so I can go with 24 maybe. 24, and what I can do right here is call this group location info, put it all the way to the bottom or just above my map image, visit our showroom where we are. So for here, yeah, I can leave them outside just right here. And then this is 32 as we said. Group these and make sure to nudge them right around here until they are in the center. So location info, what we are going to have next is the phone number. And lastly, we are going to have, let's see, opening hours. Like that. And now inside of this one, I'm going to select this address icon and replace it with a phone icon. Just make sure it's in the center. Select this one and replace it with a clock icon. Once again, just make sure it's in the center. And here I'm going to simply paste in my content. So when is this business open? So when you as a visitor check it out, you can know if you are already late, maybe they are closed, or where they are located in the city or in the country, so you can know how to reach them better. So all of that good stuff here. We're going to write in phone number, and here we're going to write in opening hours. There we go. So this section has been completed, and all I want to do is group these, and perhaps I can see how I can maybe location content or something. Yeah, I think that works fine. Make sure these two are in the center. We are 200, we are. Control G one more time and maybe call this where we are. And finally, at the end of this design, we have the footer at the bottom. Footer in this case is going to be extremely simple to create, and I did that on purpose because I didn't want to confuse you guys later when we get to Webflow. So in this case, what I'm going to do is use the same logo, drag and drop, position it right here, and instead of 200, yeah, let's go with 200 actually. So reduce this down a bit to 200, make sure it's in the center once again. Then from here, what I'm going to do is simply select my icons for social media, drag and drop them inside, select them, Control G, and I'm going to call them social media, maybe something like that. And let's see, I can put them in a stack 24 like that. Yeah, I think that works fine. Align them to here, and what I can do is perhaps put them at 64, I think. Something like that. I think it's going to work just fine. There we go. And now all I need to do is nudge these two down like that, and simply use my nav items, Control C, Control V, to put them right here, align them with my icons. There we go. Put this down right here and group these two, Control G, and I'm going to call it footer content. And once again, make sure I am at 64 like so. And one final thing which I want to do is simply put in a piece of text at the bottom. Make sure it's center aligned and make sure it's paragraph size. Put it in the center, and for the distancing for that one, what I can do is maybe go the same, so 64 like that, so it's extremely simple to organize. Put it straight at the bottom, select all of your elements, Control G, call this one footer. There we go. And now one final thing which I need to do is crop in on my artboard, and instead of 68, I'm going to go with something a little bit smaller, like 64. So when I hit Control or Command 0 to snap into place, Control Enter to see what we did so far. So there we go. We have our elements already organized. We included the hover state, and inside of the course we'll have many other animations, such as for these cards, such as for these navigational items, and for these ones when they fly in later in Webflow. We are going to do all of those animations, but for this video I just wanted to show you how we designed a page like this in the course. In the course you're going to get all of these elements so you can follow along yourself, and you can design this page by following the course. But for this YouTube video, this is what we did so far. So thank you so much for watching. Once again, finally, if you are interested in checking out the course, make sure to see the link in the description to enter the coupon code and to get the massive discount for the course, which is over 24 hours long, and we cover every single thing you need to know to become a qualified UI UX designer and to find your dream job. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed the content and you like to see more of it, make sure to subscribe to the channel. I upload videos usually every single week all about UI UX design, Adobe XD, and soon to have a lot of Figma tutorials as well. Thank you so much for watching this one. Until next time, take care.